Hi, everyone, and welcome. My channel is dedicated to cycle breaking intergenerational trauma and cycles and patterns that do not serve us anymore. I am dedicated to bringing you messages that are of your highest good with a little bit of the mystical mixed with the practical, a little bit. It's equal. It's balanced here. I hope everybody is doing super well. We're gonna start us off with some moon water to kind of connect us with the moon, connect us with the universe, connect us with water, and yeah. I had a dream last night, and I'm actually being called to share it with you. More so with the general aspect of it. I'm not going to give you all details because that's not necessary, but I will give you kind of the gist of it without providing very, very specifics. I don't think that's necessary. So last night I had a dream and it was all about me being at this event, some sort of event, and it was like my family was there, there were neighbors there. And all of a sudden I was sat with a whole bunch of my neighbors and these people who knew me my entire life. And they were really mean. They were saying a lot of really like intrusive, they're asking a lot of intrusive questions, and I just was like feeling increasingly uncomfortable after like every moment of me being there. So I decided, I was like, well, I'm just gonna go to the water. So at the event there was this river, and I went and I broke free from the group and I went to the river, and I didn't care. I was in this beautiful dress and I didn't care. I was just like, I'm just gonna go into the water, I don't care. And I was like speaking to it. I was talking to the water, and it was having like we were having a conversation. I could only hear it. It was only in my head, but it was this beautiful conversation. I don't even remember the conversation. It was more of a feeling. And in tarot and in symbolism, waters do symbolize the unconscious and the emotions. So I guess I was having this really beautiful, harmonious conversation. But then I was looking through the river, and this big tractor came through, and it was polluting the water, and I was getting so upset, and I was like, whoa, why, like, this shouldn't be here, and what is it doing here? And I looked it up, and I mean, even just thinking about it as well, tractors symbolize sorry, agriculture and industrialization, just stuff like that. And I was thinking about how, yeah, society has become very industrialized, and with that, it has caused a lot of pollution to the earth. It has caused a lot of harm. And when I looked down at my feet, there was a huge cut on my one foot. And I was so alarmed and I was nervous because I was in polluted water. And I was like, oh, I need to get out. I need to leave this entire environment in order to tend to my foot, in order to tend to my wound. And there was a lot of people who were really upset by that. They were like, well, why don't you just stay? And I'm like, because like I need to fix this. Like this could get really infected and I don't want it to. So I left. And I was thinking about how I could create this really cool spread for you all because it feels very significant. It doesn't feel like, how do I describe this? It doesn't feel like it was just meant for me. It was very personal to me, like for sure. But I feel like there's a theme, there's an undercurrent that's happening here. So what I'm going to do is I actually decided to chunk up the stream to help you all and to kind of make it make more sense to you in your life so that we can connect to each other and so that we can all feel a little bit connected here. So I'm going to chunk it up and I'm going to do the voices around me. So the voices around you. So where are you being influenced right now, confined, or subtly trapped by others' beliefs, expectations, or projections? Then we're going to look at the inner barrier. So, what part of me or you already knows it's time to walk away? And number 3 is my natural flow. So, what actually brings you, the viewer, emotional peace, joy, and regulation when you're left to yourself when you leave? The disruptor. So, what energy pattern or system contaminates your field or your peace when it enters your emotional space? So, the waters, the river. The wound point. Where does staying too long or unprotected create harm or vulnerability? And last but not least, how to heal. So, how to heal this wound in a very loving way. So, if this resonates with you, if you are intrigued, then I would love to share this tarot message with you. All I ask is for you to just be open to receive the messages, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is for the collective, so it will be for a large group of people. It'll be themes. There might be certain specifics for you here. It might just be the general message for you. Okay. So, the voices around me. What am I being influenced or confined in a subtle way? I got a couple of cards. I'll take them. So we got Temperance, the Hermit, the Lovers, Seven of Wands, and Strength. Normally I wouldn't take that many cards, but for some reason it seems significant. So it seems like you are being influenced within your balance. So there are other people who are trying to give you a specific structure with balance that doesn't work for you. So Spirit is asking you to look internally, to separate yourself, to hermit yourself, which is really interesting because the short I did today talks specifically about the hermit. I did it with a different deck, so it's fascinating that it's coming through again. It's also requiring you to make a choice, and Spirit is specifically telling me, so if I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at my third eye, so just images that are internal to me. The Lovers talks about harmonious union. So what brings you harmony and peace? And I'm hearing abundance in your life. When you find that out, it is your job and your responsibility to protect this. Okay, so it's very important for you to protect this. I'm like being told to make this go closer. Okay, I'm really looking at this like shadow part. So typically our shadow can, if we don't make peace with our shadow, it can create anxiety. It can create a lot of different things because it's trying to tell us something. So if you have a fear or anxiety, it's trying to tell you something, and it's trying to tell you that right now you are feeding it rather than like directing it. Okay, so try to direct it that will serve you in a way, because if you do, then you find your inner strength. So you can see right here, there's this little girl, and she's just like, she's holding on to this, like this thing, and this little orb, and this massive lion is looking at her, and she's like, it's obeying her, right? So use your shadow and direct your shadow in a way that helps you. Okay, so people are influencing you. It is your job, it is your duty to understand or use your discernment of where, like, who those people are, and are they trapping you from balance? Are they trapping you from finding your inner union? What part of you already knows it's time to walk away? What part of you already knows it's time to walk away? Both? Yes. Oh, fuck. Sorry. King of Swords and the Chariot. Oh my God. Okay, so the King of Swords is all about clarity. So there is a very, like, you know exactly who these people are in your life. This part of you is the very mature part in your brain where you're like, this person is not for me, and you are ready to walk away. You are already walking away, I'm hearing. So some of you are like at the verge, and others of you are already walking away, and you're saying peace out, and I commend you for that. So I think this is definitely where my collective is at, is that you know exactly who doesn't serve you, and not even just who, but what doesn't serve you, and you are already on the path of walking away. Mm. Love that. That's so empowering. Woo-hoo. You are walking away, and the Chariot's all about like certain decks are interesting because it's like, it could talk about which direction you're going in, but this one's so significant. It's like you know your direction, you are aligned with your direction, and if you're not there, you're like on the cusp of it. So you're good. My natural flow. So, what actually brings me emotional peace, joy, regulation when I'm left to myself? And like limited cards, thank you. Ah, what actually brings me emotional peace and joy? Interesting. So, you got the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So, Five of Pentacles is feeling scarcity. They're outside of a church. One guy has the bag. He's walking away from him like he doesn't even notice this person. Um, and this is the Page of Swords. This is all about someone who's really curious on their journey. They're in this library. They're looking up at what's next. What's next? What can I do next? So it's interesting to me that you got this one because your natural flow. So maybe okay, I'm hearing it. Thank you, Spirit. So this is saying that you're actually used to being abandoned. You're actually used to being alone. You're actually used to being people overlooking you. You're used to people not seeing you, like really seeing you. And um, you're now learning, instead of like being, oh no, why can't you see me? You're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm alone. Yes, I can do whatever the hell I want. Woo. So you're actually in the state of like, wait a minute, I like being alone. I actually really enjoy learning new things. What the heck? Normally, I used to be so upset about being alone. I used to feel so abandoned. But now you're like, I actually have so much power in being alone. And that's very empowering when you get to that point, because that means that you're not letting other people control a narrative for you. And that is so, so huge. It's not like, you still want people in your life. Absolutely. I'm not saying like that you're not calling in the right aligned people, but you're not at this point in your life anymore where you're like, people who are not aligned with me, people who are not pouring into me the same way that I'm pouring into myself, see ya, bye, don't need you. This is where we're bringing in curiosity and aligned action. Curiosity will find you. Like, it truly will. It happens to me all the time. Like, I've been hermiting so hard, and so many beautiful and wonderful people come into my life whenever I go outside now. Before, I used to bring in like chaos because my life was chaos. But now that I'm like really aligned, truly aligned, literally every single time I go outside, I have some sort of beautiful, magical encounter. It's wild. Like today, it was crazy. Like I just had so many amazing encounters today. And it was because I only go out when I need to, period, especially in the wintertime. Like I'm conserving my strength right now. The disruptor. So, what energy pattern or system contaminates my peace when it enters my emotional space? Oh my gosh. And you got the Four of Pentacles. Okay. So, I'm getting narcissists, like hardcore narcissists. So, the disruptor is people who are not as generous as you are. Okay. So these are people who are like hoarding all of this like abundance, and they're not giving in the same way. So this pattern of people who are taking and taking and taking and not giving back, that is what is contaminating your emotional space. You are being called to protect your life force, to protect your abundance. Maybe you're a person who has been a big people pleaser, has large people pleasing tendencies, and you just like kept giving to all these people. But now that you know from the Five of Pentacles, right? Now that you see, like, they're not giving. They have this bag. They're not even giving anything to you. They're not even looking at you. You now have taken off the rose-colored glasses. You're actually putting on the glasses that bring you clarity, and you're like, okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Mm-mm. I need to protect my peace. Before, I was giving generously, but they're not even looking at me. So why would I give to someone who's not even looking at me? That's just self-preservation. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. When people give to you, you can give back to them. That is discernment, right? And it's not saying like there's a very unequal exchange. You'll know what's equal. You'll know that very deeply. The wound point. Where does staying too long or unprotected create harm or vulnerability? I'm feeling nervousness. You're okay. You're okay. You're safe here. We're safe. We're safe. Where does staying too long or unprotected create harm or vulnerability? I got the Queen of Swords. So this is saying to me, I'm just going to look at the bottom of the deck really quick. The Empress. Yes. Okay. So this is saying to me that there might have been like over explaining happening. Like I'm getting a lot of like my own memories coming up where I've stayed too long, where I tried to explain my point of view with people who were just not open to hearing me. I was trying to be like super compassionate and like caring to these people who didn't give a shit about me. So, or they didn't know even how to have that type of conversation, right? Because they didn't do the inner work and they weren't willing to. They want to believe a very specific illusion, which is like, that is your choice. That is your choice. But it is also our job to make sure that we are also um, saying the things that we need to say and leaving when we need to leave. So the Queen of Swords is all about like being very clear, being very direct, but in a very compassionate way, because we have the dog here, right? So she still has compassion and she still has um, her companionships. So, but they're aligned to her. They're loyal to her, right? And that's kind of what you need to realize, like who is loyal to me and who is compassionate with me, versus who do I need to have strong boundaries with. So she's like the queen of boundaries, and the Empress at the bottom of the deck is signifying to me that like it's really pertinent, really important for you right now to nurture that vulnerable side of you, because that vulnerable side of you may not have been protected in the past. So when we protect it now, that allows us to develop more strength. So how to heal this wound in a loving way. And I'm going to close out with a oracle card from The Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell, because I just thought it was very perfect for this message. Oh my God. And the Empress came out. Wow. Okay. So how to heal. We got the Empress. Crazy. Judgment. And crazy that we've got the Phoenix. Did we not also get the Temperance card? So the Temperance card, give me a second here. Yeah. The Temperance card doesn't, okay. From this deck, can we just stop for a second here? I've never had this happen before. But do they all not look so similar? So angels, phoenix, birds, feathers, those are very significant to you, I'm assuming, or it is. That seems very significant. Seraphim, if you're into dragons, look up Seraphim. That's been a game changer for me. So that's a big thing. Dragons don't want me to tell you exactly what it is because dragon energy, metaphorically, actual, whatever it is that you want to believe in, is very like paradoxical and very wise. They only really come to people who are very curious and follow the path, the adventure of knowledge. If that speaks to you, we're soul family. If you're like, well, okay, whatever, we're gonna continue on this. Angels. So super interesting. So how to heal. Slow down. I'm like so excited. How to heal. Nurture yourself, self-care. Okay, so take the steps for self-care. That could be a bath, a shower, um, journaling, getting into some like super cozy. I'm like seeing some like really cozy pajamas, like a really cozy set of pajamas, a really nice blankie, getting your pet with you and just chilling. Okay, making time for that. Okay, making time for that. We also got this one next. So is judgment. Judgment is also answering to your higher calling. Okay, so like angels are protecting you. They are around you. They surround you. That's what I'm hearing right now. They surround you. They love you. Like I'm hearing specifically, think of, oh, shivers. Okay. Think of that like cozy blanket as like their wings. That's what they want you to envision. They want you to think of like that really cozy feeling that you get when you surround yourself with your comforts. They want you to know that that's like their wings, metaphorically for you. Okay. And how to heal in a loving way. The Phoenix is very specific to this particular deck. And the Phoenix, to me, especially in this deck, symbolizes rewiring neural pathways. So changing up patterns of survival to thriving. Okay. So when we look at the patterns in our life that do not serve us anymore, that means that we are um, becoming reborn from the ashes. So we do need to crumble, we do need to burst into flames in order to like heal. So when I think of like the Empress, I think of like the little chickling, especially from like Harry Potter, you know, Fox, where he comes up from the ashes as this like little tiny chick. So think of it as like the Empress, like you're in the ashes right now, but you're going to grow into this like beautiful large phoenix. So that we need every single cycle in order to become that large phoenix, right? Which is super cool. All right, and closing message for the collective. What is a healing waters message? Oracle card. Oh, cute. I'm only going to take this one, the top one. I find that those cards kind of stick together. Gentle force, consistency, persistence, patience, the long game. Wow. So, yeah, if you're here, you resonate with this message. That's been my message. So, that means that we're just soul family. I love you all. And this is all about consistency. I already just said that. So, over time, a single drop of water has the power to shape even the hardest, most solid materials, from stone and rock to cliffs and mountains. In fact, water is responsible for crafting most of the stunning landscapes of this world. We can learn a lot from water in this regard. How consistent action, day after day, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, can create steady, lasting change. A hagstone is a stone with a naturally occurring hole through it caused by water erosion. For the Celtic people, they were good omens and were thought to offer protection. So many people give up before they begin to see results, but deep-rooted change takes time. The most magnificent creations require committed crafting. We all have passions, but what most people don't do is commit to these things and master them. We're all beginners of something. The great masters, musicians, and artists of history were too. Commit to your passions. Throw yourself into what you most long to create. Commit to showing up day after day, small steps taken consistently make a world of a difference. If you commit to your creations with grounded daily action, in a week or a decade from now, you'll be blown away by what you've created. There's no rush. Consistency is key. Be like the drop of water on the hagstone. Play the long game. Don't burn out before you really begin. Be patient and keep showing up. How can you show up with more consistency to what you're longing to create? Wow, so beautiful. So, really think I had a lot of my own personal stuff come through, but I'm being told to withhold that information uh, because that's personal to me and that's beautiful. So maybe that's the call. Yeah, okay, sorry. That's the call, is to think what came up for you there. Where has consistency paid off for you? Um, where is something in your life that you're not being consistent with, and how can you make time to be more consistent with that practice? Because it will pay off. Okay, that's such a beautiful message for all you. I am going to end that here. And if you could like, share, or subscribe for the channel, that would be super wonderful. I really want to develop a strong community that can really show up for each other, especially for the long game, because it is a journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So I love all of you. You're doing awesome. And today, just really take care of yourself. I think that's the first step. It's just today, take that first step and do something really, really lovely for yourself. Anyways, bye.